G'day legends, Warm Audio have just released the WA76-D2, a dual channel 1176 FET compressor that is a faithful recreation of the fastest and most powerful Revision D studio compressor with some extra features that they've added to it as well. So we're going to check this out now. I'll take you through all the different controls and features that are included with the WA76-D2, and then we're going to listen to some audio examples so you can get a feel for what this unit sounds like. Let's do it. So here is the WA76-D2 dual limiting amplifier. To turn this on, we just have to push in any of these buttons here. Turn it off, down the bottom. Up the top, we have our impedance selector, which lets us choose between 600 ohms and 10,000 ohms, depending if you are connecting this with analog gear or to a modern interface. Down the bottom is a true bypass switch, which when engaged allows us to completely bypass compression and amplification. Here we have our dual channels, channel A and channel B, both with independent inputs and outputs. Driving the input of either of these channels will force the signal up into the threshold of the compressor, and the harder you drive it, the more compression you will achieve. Each channel has its own independent attack and release knobs. Turning the attack knob all the way to the left puts it into the off position, which allows you to pass signal through the WA76-D2 without any compression being applied. You'll just be adding color from the input and output circuitry. This is great if you really want to add some saturation and drive a signal. We have our ratio selectors, 4:1, 8:1, 12:1, and 20:1, as you'd expect with any 1176 compressor, as well as the ability to combine multiple ratios to create different effects with compression, as well as the famous all buttons in mode. You have metering choices of +4 and +8 dBu. Over here we have our mix knob for parallel processing right at the unit. You can blend the dry and wet signal to get that perfect blend of compression. Down the bottom we have our sidechain high pass filter. To engage the sidechain high pass filter, we just flick this switch up and then we can roll between 30 Hz up to 300 Hz. Having this engaged tells the compressor not to react to the frequencies below where we have this set. This can help dial in the compressor if you're working with some bass heavy content. And lastly, the operational mode selector. When this is switched to the top, we are now in the stereo linked mode. Both channels work independently, but the sidechains are linked. In that case, the loudest channel will dictate both channels' behavior. When we flick this down into our middle option, it is now A to AB. This is primary to secondary mode. The left channel sidechain only will dictate how both channels operate. And when we're flicked all the way down to the bottom, we are in dual mono. Each channel operates independently with all controls operating on program material being sent to its own channel. The back of the unit has both XLR and TRS inputs and outputs, and it receives its power through an IEC power cable. So that's all the parameters that you need to know about the WA76-D2. That's enough chit chat. Let's check out some audio examples running through this beast.
Never take me, never break me, I'm not backing down. I feel it changing as you're fading. Could this be the start of something new? Of something new?
So there you have it, guys. That is the WA76-D2, a really awesome sounding compressor. And it's such a cool tool to have in the studio now that there is a dual channel version of this. It's awesome for mixing, being able to send stereo buses out and add a bit of analog flavor to your mixes is really cool. Also a great tracking tool. Being dual mono means that you can compress two independent sounds with the same unit at the same time. Having that mix knob on the compressor itself is so cool for being able to apply parallel compression without having to do any crazy bussing and routing. You could have this on your drum bus, absolutely smashing it, but then just dialing in a small amount of that compression with the mix knob to add a bit of extra flavor to your drums. It's really cool. If you're a fellow Aussie and thinking about picking up one of these units, make sure you check out the link in the description below to some local dealers. And if you buy your gear online through Sweetwater, make sure you check out that Sweetwater affiliate link. Using that link doesn't cost you anything extra, but a small commission comes back to this channel. And that's just a great way of showing your support for the time that goes into making videos like this. If you guys enjoy these videos and you want to support this channel, check out the link in the description below. Head over to my website, go grab yourself a sample pack or a mixing course. At the time of posting this video, it is Black Friday, so there's some pretty good deals over there at the moment. If you guys are interested in checking out another awesome piece of gear from Warm Audio, check out this video I did using the Warm Audio WA44 ribbon microphone.